I think the sickest I've ever been. This was when Fast Track was still paying people. I was one day away from a $60,000 payout and ended up going on tilt day and blowing them all. I think I bought 8 accounts and then I ran 4 of those up to 30,000 in payouts.
How much you want to share? How many accounts you've blown through?
Oh man, hundreds probably.
Hundreds. From what you see on the internet now, what do you think is the biggest mistake new traders are making when it comes to prop trading?
If you can't stay disciplined, you need to size down.
Are you withholding the information when you post that markups, or do you really trade just that simple on the chart?
I think any strategy can work. The main thing about trading is probably discipline, because everybody can win, but can you manage a loss?
All right, everybody, we've got Slade in the house. TradesBySlade. You've been trading Forex, now switched to futures. We're going to talk about that today, buddy. We're going to talk about the prop space. Like you just said before we started the podcast, you've tried everybody. So, Slade, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Excited to be here.
First podcast you said you've ever done. Is that true?
Yep, first podcast.
Why? Why haven't you gone on anybody else's? I feel like you've probably been asked by everybody. I see your payouts. I see the success you're having. So I'm surprised to hear that, to be honest.
Well, I've really just been focusing on the trading. Didn't really want to do any podcasts or stuff like that. I mean, I just do the YouTube just to kind of look back on how I came, and stuff like that. But I've never really been interested in doing any podcasts or anything.
All right. Well, dude, I appreciate you giving me the first one. How'd you get into trading? I know you said you started like I did in Forex, right? And then you kind of switched to futures. Is that, if I'm remembering correct?
Yeah, that's it. I started in Forex in 2018. Man, first day I made, just like everybody probably got that beginner's luck, made a lot of money, and then, it just went downhill from there. And then
What happened at the beginning? What do you mean beginner's luck? How much you make? What'd you do?
Well, I mean, it was a lot for me. I was in high school or whatever. I put like $100 in an account, and then one day it went up to like 800, and I was like, "Oh, I found the ticket here, man." I was like, "This is it."
You're ready to drop out the next day. You're like ready to go in there into high school and flip off your teacher and be like, "I'm out of here, bro. Forex trader for life."
Yeah. But then I found out very quickly it's not that easy.
It's definitely not that easy. So how long have you been trading futures then? Did you start trading futures like when everyone got banned from the CFD prop firms? I think it was like January, February last year.
Well, it was a little bit after that. So I've been trading about a year now, coming up on a year on futures prop firms, and the prop space really changed everything for me. That's where I found a lot of success. Started finding success.
With which prop firms in particular?
Well, I started with Apex, and I think I bought 8 accounts, and then I ran 4 of those up to 30,000 in payouts.
Wow.
Blew 4 of them, and then 4 of them ran those up 30,000, and then
first try.
Yeah. Well, I had 8 accounts, and then I was split them up, copy trading, so 4 and 4, and then 4 of those I got a really nice buffer on them, and then just making $200 a day after that.
How do you handle it with the rules on Apex? Because I feel like a lot of people say that trailing drawdown always gives them problems. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's tough at first. I mean, I just try to get out of it as quickly as possible, because once you get over the buffer, then you're out of the trailing drawdown. But I'm sorry, go ahead. Once you trade an end of day, it's a end of day prop firm. It's a lot different. That's all I knew, because it was the first firm I traded. So I was just following the rules. But then when you trade in the end of the day, it's completely different. A lot easier.
I was going to say, for the listeners, a lot of the traders who, like yourself, I see taking good payouts. They usually are taking payouts either from Apex, or it's always a firm that has a end of day drawdown. Not like the only firm with the trailing drawdown that I see people doing well is Apex. And that's probably because you can copy trade to so many accounts,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
that's what's most appealing about it.
And on Apex, you can just, you don't try to go for too much, because if you just make $200 a day across 10 accounts, that'll be a that'll be a big payout just by itself.
100%. When you think about like prop firms in general, do you think that they're better for the trading space overall? Like, do you think they have helped traders more than they've hurt traders? Or do you think it leads to a lot of people blowing through these accounts like crazy?
I mean, it just depends. There's always going to be gamblers out there and people who just go and gamble the accounts. But for people who are really trading, I think it helps so much because the way you can leverage. I mean, I couldn't have made 30,000 with that little bit of money I put in there trading a normal account. No way. But
No way.
yeah.
No, you were saying, but with the prop.
But with the prop firms, I was able to do it.
Yeah, 100%. Now, what other prop firms are you a big fan of right now? I see you posting all the time about Apex, still Tradeify. I even think I see Take Profit Trader in the mix there. Who else? Hey traders, a quick pause from today's podcast to tell you about our sponsors. First, Top One Futures is still running a 50% off sale. Use the code ASFX on your next instant funded challenge from Top One Futures. There's a link in the description or just go to toponefutures.com, but make sure you use the code ASFX, those 4 letters. That'll make sure you get the best discount possible. If you don't want to take any more challenges and jump through any more BS hoops, instant funded is the way you need to go, and Top One Futures has your back.
Yeah, Take Profit, and I recently got a nice payout with Top One.
Oh, nice. Look at that. I didn't even know that. So you, they're the newest firm for sure out of the group that you're trading with. What do you think of all these other Forex firms coming into like Alpha, right? Like all these big Forex firms. Are you going to try any of that? What are your thoughts there?
That's the thing, man. There's getting to be so many firms. I can't keep up anymore. I'm just going to try to stick with what I have for right now. And then, I mean, maybe I need to watch some review videos or something because I can't keep up.
You're right, bro. It is so many. Somebody said to me, they were like, with the bigger Forex firms that are coming in, even bigger than Top One, they have so much liquidity apparently that they could probably provide, if not better rules, at least very competitive rules to some of the other firms. So then like from the outside, I look at how good you are, bro, and how much success you've had in such a short amount of time. You probably could transition into any firm and do well with it. But for you to say like, I want to focus on what's working, keep scaling what's working, I think that's a really good tip. So let me back up, Slade, because we're kind of jumping in with the prop firm stuff. Who's like an influencer that you learned from? Who's your mentor? Who got you like profitable? Or did you just figure this out all on your own?
Well, I got into the future prop firm space by watching Alpine Trader. And, yeah, so I started watching him and saw his success with Apex. And ever since then, I just, finding other people too. But Alpine's the one who got me into it pretty much.
Is that guy's name Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's a DJ on the weekends, right?
Yep.
Yep. So I used to be a DJ, bro, before like this is 10 years ago. I used to do bar mitzvahs and weddings on the weekend the whole time. So he and I connected over that because he tweeted the other day. He was like, man, this Friday gig traffic sucks. I was like, yeah, bro, I fucking remember that, bro. That is terrible. So that's cool. So sweet. How does he trade? Or was he more just prop firm stuff? He didn't teach you so much how to trade.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really learn how to trade from him. Just basically got into the prop firm space. He kind of, as a scalper, I'm more into the, I'd say I'm more into the ICT stuff, fair value gaps, inversions, stuff like that. Really, those two mainly. But I kind of have my own way of trading. I don't go fully into the ICT stuff, but those two I do use a lot.
Tell me a little bit more about your strategy then, because I'm sure the listeners are interested. So it's not fully ICT, you said? It's kind of like something you've modified?
Yeah, I mean, not really modified, just a simpler version. I mean, I just use basically I wait on price to get either, really high or really low for the leg. And then I just try to find an inversion just to scalp it back down a little bit. Because if you see one of those steep moves up, it's gotta, not always, of course, everybody knows it doesn't always, but I like to just look for at least a little pullback down, and then that's where I get in. And if I catch a runner, I'll leave it on for the runner and catch that too. That's a little icing on top.
For sure. Are you trading NQ mostly?
Yeah, NQ. And I used to trade gold a lot too, but lately it's just been NQ.
Do you think gold has been harder to trade because it's just going straight up and it's not doing any pullback, so the reversion trades don't work as much? Is that the thought?
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I just really got focused on NQ and just been trading that pretty much.
Okay.
It could be I stopped because I was losing with it. That could be why. I can't really remember.
The P&L is telling you something, so you got to adapt. I mean, dude, everybody trades NQ. Like it's either ES or NQ. A couple of people trade YM, but I feel like that's mainly it. What would be I see you get questions on Twitter sometimes, bro. What would be some of your advice to like the guys that are listening to this thinking, I don't know what prop firm to go with. I know I want to try something in the future space. Maybe they're transitioning from Forex like you and I did. What would be your advice to them? Like, does the prop firm itself matter? Is there something psychological that you would give advice to? Because to take out as much in payouts as you have, I feel like you've got to have some good tips for the new guys that come to you.
Yeah. I would say probably just the biggest tip would get the cheapest account when you're first starting out. I mean, my tip, just get the cheapest account. You're probably going to blow a few. Get 2 or 3 and then trade them separately. That way if you blow an account, you won't be too tore up about it. You have backups in the tank that you can still trade.
It's
But the
good advice.
cheapest, yeah.
How much you want to share how many accounts you've blown through?
Oh man, hundreds probably. I don't. I
Hundreds.
mean, yeah. I mean, I would get payouts, blow them. Go through the whole cycle. That's the thing. I mean, as long my main thing is I want to get in profit on the year, and then just use those profits to buy more accounts.
Profit in terms
So
of payouts. So you're saying like I want to take out more in payouts than I spend, and then use those payouts to amplify.
yep. Start out slow. Get a payout. Use that payout to buy more accounts, and then just amp it up as the year goes on.
So you also are, I know we talked about your other career a little bit to go out of the prop firm stuff for a second. You're a jewelry maker by your like family's business, basically. Do you think full-time trading is something you're trying to move into, or are you going to always look for other streams of income? What are your thoughts on full-time trading? I'm curious.
I mean, it'd be sick to full-time trade. Um, but yeah, definitely, I would definitely recommend having other streams of income. Like, I also have some rental properties and stuff. I have 2 rental properties right now, but I'm trying to get more. And then, I don't know. It's the family business, the jewelry thing. So I probably always have something to do with that, But
Do you have any
full
brothers
time.
that could take it over, or is it just you?
Well, I do have a brother. He didn't want to take it over, and then my sister didn't want to take it over, so it just leaves me, and I don't want to just let it go.
Are you the younger of the brother and the sister? Are you the younger of 3?
Yeah, I'm the youngest. Yeah,
Yeah, so then it fell to baby bro. Now what's baby bro going to do? He's going to be trading from the jewelry store is what's going to happen for a while.
that
But it's good
I yeah
advice about keeping multiple streams of income. What were you going to say?
yeah. I'm already trading from the jewelry store some days,
That's what I figured.
but
Yep.
and I don't want to let it go because my dad literally built this from the ground up. Like he started out at the flea market selling jewelry, and now we got two businesses, nice big jewelry stores. So
Good for
he's
him, bro.
it's yeah.
That's like, you and we're doing the tippy tap away on the keyboard business, but that's real grinding in the real business world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you when you think back to like watching him build that business as you grew up, got any stories or any lessons that stand out that you learned from him?
Yeah, man. He's a grinder. He's never sitting around. Like he just had knee surgery a few days ago and he's already out doing stuff. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. He's got some crazy stories. I remember a few years ago, the jewelry store got broken into and with like armed robbery. And he's sitting in his office in his socks, comes running out, guns blazing, shooting at the guys. Like he's not gonna let anybody take what's his.
100%, bro. As I'd expect him to do. I mean, when you work your whole life to build something, I told you, I think before we were chatting, my grandfather had an electrical business in South Philly called Silver's Electric. And same thing, bro. He had a story where a woman comes through, like literally running through the store butt naked, and her pimp is behind her with a machine gun, spraying the machine gun, chasing her around, puts bullet holes all in my grandfather's shop and everything. And I think it was after that, like nobody died, I don't think, in that story, but I think it was after that my grandfather was like, I'm not passing this down to my kids. See, my grandfather's business was in the hood in Philly. It doesn't sound like that's where your family business is. So my grandfather wanted everybody to get out. He wanted my dad to go to law school and not do that. And that's what my dad ended up doing. So similar story, but different.
That's sweet.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, that's
Now,
crazy.
thinking back to the Forex days, Do you miss trading Forex ever?
No, I don't. I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't miss trading Forex. I mean, just mainly because of, I mean, it's not too big of an issue, but just let alone the spread. I mean, in futures, you don't really have a spread, so that's one main reason why I don't miss Forex.
100%. Do you find that like I mean, I'll say I find the information like on X about futures trading is so much better. Like the quality of trader in futures is way better than the quality of the trader in Forex. Like I felt like everybody in Forex was like a scammer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Do you think,
I would say
yeah,
when I was trading Forex, like I didn't really know a good strategy. I was just out there just, oh, let me pick a good place to get in, you know. But when I came over to futures, that's when I started finding good strategies to use and stuff. So that's maybe
ICT wasn't
why.
as popular in Forex too, I feel like. It was
Yeah,
gaining
I never.
popularity, but everybody in futures is already on it, it feels like.
Yeah, I never heard of ICT until I came over to futures.
And when you came over to futures, did you just jump in on Twitter and like start the YouTube thing right away because you knew that's where people were? Like, why did you start doing YouTube and Twitter then?
Well, after I didn't start doing YouTube until I got third those payouts. I got the 30,000 in payouts, and then I was like, well, let me just start a little YouTube channel and see what see what happens. And then just been doing it ever since then.
What do you think of all the beef and stuff that's always going on Twitter with, everybody, Patrick Whelan to everybody?
I just think it's a fun little game, man. I don't look too much into it. I don't think there's any real hate going on. It's just people looking for engagement and stuff. I mean, I do the same thing. I get on there and I poke some jabs at people, but some people get mad. But I mean, it's just all in fun. I try to say that, but
It is.
yeah, all in fun.
It's for the engagement. You know what I mean? And I think as long as like there's dude, I mean, the longer you're on, you'll see there's some crazy fucking people. Like some people have said some crazy things to me that I question if they're being serious or not. But then there's always the fun of like people just being like trying to like PW does. Like he does a good job at it. Look at how he's built
Yeah.
his business. So you got to play the game a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think it's a coincidence or like let me ask you, what do you think of Kyle? $2 million payout. That guy in beer or whatever his name is, $2 million payout from Apex all in the last month. They both trade the same kind of way you trade, right?
Yeah, they actually know more than me, a lot more than me probably, but yeah, similar. I would like to learn more and stuff, but I need to actually. But yeah, it's crazy. I wish I could get to that level someday.
They're very impressive. I met Kyle once in person when I was in New York City. I was doing a podcast and he was there too. He's a super chill guy, like super humble guy, but he's sharp. You're right. You could tell he's a smart guy. What do you think of when Apex runs these big sales after they make these big payouts? It kind of comes off the wrong way a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, all I know is they're still paying, so yeah, it does come off, but maybe it's also like kind of like trying to get more people to buy like an advertisement, like, oh, we just paid out 2 million. Here's you a 90% sale. You can do the same thing, stuff like that. I mean,
Great
there's
point.
multiple ways to look at it.
Great point. Do you think it's possible as a futures trader to like make money in other ways other than scalping? Because a few minutes ago you mentioned that the Chris Alpine's more of a scalper. That's how I kind of see myself. But you're not seeming that way. Because like I think about it, like if you have to close the trade at the end of the day, you're a day trader, you're a scalper, like you're not really swing trading. But you said couple minutes ago that you're more like it seems a little more long term. So can you explain that a little bit? Like how long are you holding trades? What time frames are you looking at?
Well, I'm actually more of a scalper. Like I just I go for 10 to 20 points and just
Okay.
scalp. Yeah, but yeah, I tried the I've tried the longer trades, but too many times it just almost got to target and turned around, and I can't do that. It messes with my head. It makes me I like to win a lot. So
Me too. Me too. I
yeah.
mean, I'm shooting for like a 70% win rate if I can. What are you shooting for? Same right now?
Yeah, yeah, same.
How many trades a day are you usually taking with that? Like, 'cause you get 10 or 20 points in the second on NQ sometimes.
Yeah. I trade London sessions, so it takes a little bit longer, but well, not lately with the tariffs and stuff. You can get 10 to 20 really quickly. But yeah, I usually try to take two trades, 2 to 3.
Why are you trading London session, bro?
Because I go to work during New York session, so then I can stream during London and trade, which is nice.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. What about Tradeify? I know you've been pushing I see you trade their instant funded accounts, I think, but you haven't mentioned Top Step. So when people compare Tradeify and Top Step, what do you tell them? Like, do you just like the instant funded accounts better than the combine kind of thing?
Yeah, I'm just not a I don't really like Top Step. I haven't really had good luck with them, but
Really?
yeah, I mean I
What
could
happened?
probably. But the main thing is, like, I always try to go for too big a days on Top Step. Pretty much, I like I'm one of the outliers. I like the consistency rule because then I just lock it up for the day and I'm done. But with a Top Step, I'll try to there's no cap on it, so I'll just keep going until I don't know, either make a huge amount of money or blow the account up.
So then you look at it and actually see the consistency rule with the other companies like Tradeify and Top One, and you say, "Oh, this helps me. I know I can't make more than that." Do you limit your downside to the same number? Like, let's say it's 1,000. Do you not lose more than 1,000 as well?
Yeah, I have a hard stop on my top ones at 1,500. So I won't lose more than 1,500, and I try to make 1,000. But that's a hard stop. If I can stop around 500 to 1,000 a day, that's even better. But if I just have a tilt day, that 1,500 is just gonna stop me out for the day.
How fast did you get that Top One payout?
Um, well, it was in 6 days actually, 6 days.
Okay, so that's like kind of slow. Mine was fast. Why was that so slow?
Oh, you meant when did I get it? I thought you meant
Yeah,
how
yeah,
long
yeah.
did it.
Like from when you
Okay.
requested it to how it hit. Sorry, I should have been more clear.
Yeah, it was quick. I don't know.
Same day.
Yeah, same day.
But you said it took you like 5 or 6 days to trade to get the payout.
Yeah, it took 6 days because you can get it in 5, but you have to have like perfect right on. So then that sixth
Right.
day was just kind of like a little small day just to get the consistency right under that 20.
I feel like the only thing, like I think you're a good trader. I've seen your trades. I think you could definitely go live with them. I'm trying to go live with them. I know they took their first trader live. Are you interested in a live account with any of these firms, or do you like sim?
Um, yeah, I mean, I like live too. It doesn't really matter. It's just as long as I can make money and get paid. I mean, either
100%.
way.
Have you gotten called up to live by anybody yet, or not yet?
Yeah, I did on Take Profit Trader.
Oh, nice. And what's the
Yeah.
experience been like with that?
Well, I started out good for a few days, and then I ended up blowing the account.
And then when you blow it, do you get to like just restart and be back in sim and then work your way back up towards a live account, basically?
No, so on that Take Profit account, so you get moved 5,000 into a live account, and then it's kind of weird because the live account has a trailing drawdown. It restarts. So then, um, if you end up blowing the account, you can withdraw 50% of whatever's left or
Oh,
something like
wow.
that. Yeah.
That's super nice.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Do you feel like they're kind of one of those firms that like they seem to stand out with their rules? I interviewed James, the guy that runs the company. He actually doesn't live far from me. He lives in Orlando, I think. Their rules and like their whole thing like is they're always like fourth on the list right now, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like they've never broken into the top firm. And I feel like it's because they're kind of different. Would you agree with that? Like their rules are a little bit different, their accounts are a little bit different, or am I wrong?
Yeah, they're different. But different isn't always a bad thing. That daily payout, once you get it, it's sweet. I'm not gonna lie. Whatever you
Yeah, I mean,
make
how
on
can
the
you go
day, you can
back?
just withdraw. Yeah.
That's so nice, bro. And especially for guys like you and me that are trying to win 7 out of 10 days, like that's real nice.
Exactly. And if you've ever gotten like on a few days away from a payout and blown the account, that hurts. But on that
Oh
take
my God.
profit, you can just withdraw.
Dude, and how many people listening to this do you think have done that? Everybody. Everybody
Yeah.
has got. If you've been trading for any period of time, you've gotten close to a payout, pushed for it, and gotten burned and set yourself back. All of us have done that.
Yeah. I think the sickest I've ever been. This was when Fast Track was still paying people. I was one day away from a $60,000 payout and ended up going on tilt day and blowing them all.
What happened?
I don't know. Just I probably needed just a little bit of money, and it ended up not going my way. And then I said, "Well, I'm just gonna either get this money or I'm gonna blow them up." And I probably just blew them up.
Were you a fan of FTT at the time? Like, because they were paying people out. Scott was crazy. There was no doubt about that on
Yeah.
social media. But like people that were getting paid out seemed to like them.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning, I mean, I got on with them early, so I was getting payouts. It was sweet, man. You could have 20 accounts straight to funded. I loved it. And I actually got out before they stopped. Before all that stuff. I stopped trading with them before all that started happening. So
Just because you knew something was up, or just because you were like, I'll go somewhere. What was the reason?
no, after I blew those accounts, I just stopped trading with them for a little bit.
60K payout gone in a
Yeah.
day. Bro, but everybody that's been trading for a while have a story like that. Do you think they would have paid you out anyway?
Yeah, because I think they would have paid, because that was still when they were paying people.
Yeah,
I was still seeing payouts and stuff. And I mean, I was new on the fast track, so when I got a payout pretty early, so like my post about the payout got a lot of engagement and stuff, and Scott kind of knew who I was, so I feel like I would have got a payout. I don't
for
know.
sure. That is an interesting thing about being like somewhat important on Twitter is like you do get, the eyes of the other CEOs and they want to know what you're doing. Have you talked to
Yeah.
any other CEOs? You talked to Brett, you talked to Michael, you talked to any of those guys?
I've talked to Brett before a few times, but
Yeah.
that's it.
You want to get pulled up to live with them? I see they got Brian Stonk on there. I see they got PW on there on their live accounts going at it for the leaderboard spot. It's so funny.
Yeah, it'd be funny. It'd be funny to get on that leaderboard for sure.
I feel like, the thing for you, it sounds like, dude, is you love the copy trading, crushing it with Apex, crushing it with Fast Track. So maybe like you probably would say like top one with only 3 copy trade accounts is probably not one of your favorite firms. Am I fair to think that?
Well, I actually really like Top One because you can
Really?
yes, because they're cheap for what they are, and then you can get you can in 5 days on 150K you can withdraw 5,000 across 3 accounts. That's a $15,000 payout in 5 or 6 days. So I
So
mean, a
the
big
risk
big.
reward and the time is short.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So even though there's less accounts to copy trade, because it's easier, it has more value to you. That's interesting.
Yep.
Okay. Give me some advice now, Slade. We kind of did a little bit of your story, talked a little bit about some prop firm stuff. I know you still are going to be humble and be like, well, I don't know that much. I'm still new. But give me some of the tips that you're putting out for the ICT guys. I'm curious because you know them. They'll listen. They'll pop in here to my feed occasionally, even though I'm not a big ICT guy. What would be like
Yeah.
your tip for some of the guys that are, not finding consistency in some of those concepts that they maybe make too complicated, like you mentioned?
Yeah. I mean, I would say the main thing was just use them when they make sense. I mean, if price has already moved way up high, are you going to look for another entry to go even higher? I mean, if a move, like, this is just how I trade. If a move happens and it's already way up high, I'm not going to keep looking for longs. I'm going to look for a move back down, because price doesn't just keep going in one direction. It's going to have those dips and stuff. And that's just my main thing is I wait for price to get in, kind of like premium or discount, and then if it's in premium, I look for a move back down, discount, move back up, pretty much.
Do you find that in London session, you get the same amount of setups that the guys in the New York session are getting?
Oh yeah, and I have a good like strategy with the London session. I like it because the I think this is the reason why I say that is because a lot of the times in London session, whichever way it moves, when it starts getting closer to New York, you'll see a reversal back the other way. So I'm always looking for that reversal in London session.
So what's that? Probably for like some of the days, I'm going to guess like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. Eastern time, you start to see things turn a little bit.
Yep, around four,
Yep.
4 to 6. It's always in that kind of window. You see a turn.
What do you think your average hold time is on some of these trades? Like, are you 5 minutes, 10 minutes, less than 5 minutes? What do you think?
Well, it just depends. Most of the time, it's around 5 to 10 minutes. When I had those no consistency rules, I would hold them longer, and just because trying to go for those bigger moves. But with the consistency rules, I'm just going for my 10, 20 points and getting out.
100%. 100%. Do you feel like now well, first, did you ever try to pass a CFD prop account before futures?
Um, no,
Okay.
no,
So you only have exposure in the futures prop stuff.
yeah, Mhm.
Got it. So when you were trading Forex, were you just trading personal money?
Yeah, personal account.
What broker were you using? Do you remember?
I think it was like KOT Forex or
Oh
something.
yeah.
They
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah.
Unregulated city, bro. I was with Traders Way and they offered 1 to 3,000 leverage, bro. 1 to 3,000. Could literally just
Yeah.
put the trade on and it would close out for you automatically.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. What strategies were you trading when you were trading Forex? I'm curious because then I want to know how you transition to the ICT stuff,
I was just using like support and resistance pretty much. Just
just basic stuff like that.
yeah, basic stuff, support and resistance. I didn't really have a strategy, really. I mean, only thing I knew was support and resistance. So
And then
look
how'd
for
you find the
areas.
ICT stuff?
Yeah, when I got into futures, I saw people doing it. I was watching YouTube videos on prop firms and stuff and watching
Got it.
people trade live and they talk about ICT. So then I kind of got into it.
From what you see on the internet now, what do you think is the biggest mistake new traders are making when it comes to prop trading?
Um, probably trying to go too fast with it. That's probably the main thing. I mean, these slow $200 days can get you huge payouts. And if you think about it, like you have a huge drawdown on these accounts, so to get $200, it shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't be, but sometimes it is. But I mean,
Good advice.
I would just say go for those smaller days, and they'll add up. They'll add up as the
And
days
for
go along.
you, as a guy that likes to win a lot, do you think the copy trading and then the smaller days is really the way to maximize this? Because, like, would you say to a new trader, just start with one account, or would you tell them to go copy trade? And either way, go for the small wins, stack it up. But would you say start with copy trading, or would you say start with one account, get the one payout, kind of like what you said before?
Yeah, I'd say get like 3 accounts and then don't copy trade them. Just trade them individually, go for those $200 days, and that way if you blow that one account, if you blow one of those 3 accounts, you won't feel too bad cuz then you have 2 more. So I mean, maybe not one. I'd go for like 3 and not copy trade them.
And now with you streaming and trading, do you find it difficult to be consistent at that 70% win rate and still win that many trades? Because a lot of people, I bring them on my stream and they go, bro, I don't know how you trade in front of people all the time. It's hard.
Yeah, I mean, you're always gonna have people in your stream trying to tell you what to do and stuff, messing with your head. But no, I mean, it kind of helps me. I'd say streaming kind of helps me stick to my stop losses because when I'm off the stream, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not scared to move a stop loss back and every now and then. Staying on the
It's nice
stream
to hear
helps me.
somebody say that. Yep, yep, bro. Dude, I think a lot of people, I honestly, like everyone probably would agree with you. But I think you're right. When you put yourself out there like that and you're in front of people, it does make you stay more accountable to the rules that you're saying out loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. I've been telling a lot of new guys to start making trade videos and start doing streams more because, a lot of people, they have like imposter syndrome. So they think they can only make trading videos and put out content about trading once they are profitable. But I don't think that that's necessarily true because I was not profitable when I started making videos about trading. I was just making videos about trading. And I think it
yeah.
helped me. Yeah.
Yeah, it helps you learn more, and I mean, it's also a great thing to just look at over time and see how far you came. I mean, I look at my videos back when I first started, and they're terrible. I was like, why would I even take that trade? Sometimes, but you know,
100%.
it, yeah, it's good to look back on, see how far you came too.
I got videos on my channel that are on private from 2016, trade recaps from 2016 on a Forex pair, bro. GBP JPY 46 pip winner. So it is cool to go back and see it.
Oh yeah,
You got
the old
anybody local
days.
to you that's trading? Like, do you have, or you got any friends around you that are trading, or are you by yourself,
Well,
isolated?
Well, I'm kind of isolated, but I have a funny story. I was in the jewelry store talking it up one time, and this guy came in, and his wife or whatever saw me on Instagram or something, one of my reels or something, and she said, "Yeah, my husband, he comes home at night and he trades too, those futures. But this guy's kind of rich. I'm sure he's trading like a live account. He's probably got
Maybe.
yeah."
I had a
And
guy at the
I
seminar
asked
last
him
week. Oh yeah, good. Sorry.
I asked him like what strategies he's using, and he said he just uses support resistance zone. So I mean, you know, and I know he's probably making some good money from it.
Well, when you got more money to play with, right? Like then you can make more money. We were at the seminar last week And we're all sitting outside just being loud at the hotel. It's nighttime. And this guy and his wife are sitting there. And one of my guys goes over and is just chatting with them. And the dude like whips out his phone. He's like, I got 1.2 million in this account right here. He's like, what would you do with this? And like it is, it's interesting to see guys that are a little bit older than us and like maybe made money in a different career. And then they want to get into trading. They want to diversify and maybe get a little time back. They get older, they want to retire kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a lot of guys that I've seen over the last year transition from Forex to futures like yourself. But your markups too, that I see you, like the charts that you post on X are very simple. I mean, not support and resistance zones, but I see a lot of like trend lines and simple markups. Are you withholding the information when you post that markups, or do you really trade just that simple on the chart?
No, man, I try to keep it as simple as possible because like I think any strategy can work. And I'm not gonna lie. I think pretty much any strategy you use can work. It's the main thing about trading is probably discipline, because everybody can win, but can you manage a loss is the main thing. I mean, I look back at all the times I've blown up accounts, and I never blew up account by following my rules. I always blew up accounts by not following rules and just moving stop losses and taking random trades. I never blew an account by following the rules. So
100%.
yeah,
What
I
do you,
like to keep my strategy very simple too. So the simpler, the easier for me.
what do you think is like a good tip for some of the traders listening on increasing discipline? You got any thoughts on that? Like, what are you
Yeah.
doing to work on your discipline?
Um, just if you can't stay disciplined, you need to size down. Probably. If it means you're kind of emotionally attached. So if you can't take a stop out, that means you're probably risking too much and you're scared to lose that much. So then you're hoping it comes back to profit. So you might need to size down.
It's true. Size down, definitely good advice. Anything else? Maybe like even trade less per day. I feel like that's another
Yeah,
good one.
yeah, that's a main one. Trade less per day. I mean, I used to try to trade a whole bunch per day, but I find I look for better setups also when I go for 2 to 3 trades per day.
Do you mark up those trades and like do a journaling? Like, what's your journaling review process on each trade?
Um, you're talking about afterwards or before?
Even
Afterwards?
during and afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, so afterwards, I mean, it's just the videos is really why I started the YouTube. I can look back on it and see. I used to just post some stuff I got a little Discord. I'd post some stuff in there, kind of going over it. But no, not really a detailed journal over it.
Are you a back testing guy? So not too big on journaling. Do you do any back testing or just trading it live?
I used to do back testing. I kind of like forward testing now. Because back testing, it's not the same to me. I mean, the candles don't move the same. You can go through like an hour and 30 seconds, and you're not getting that weight that weight. That
A
weight's the
hundred
worst
percent.
part. Yeah.
Well, because like how many thoughts can you think in 1 minute that make you change your mind? You know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
then in hindsight, it's like, oh, of course the candles did that, so I would do that.
Yep.
100%. Yeah. What do you think right now, like on Twitter, any inspirations that you would give to the listeners? Because I'm sure we're going to get some new traders listening that are like, Slade, give me a resource, give me a book, give me somebody on Twitter, give me somebody on YouTube. You mentioned Alpine. Anybody else that you would say is a good follow?
Yeah, if you want to learn about like IFEGs, I like Dodgy. He's good on.
His name's
I
Ryan, right?
yeah, I kind of joke around with him, poke on him on Twitter, but I do like him. He's good for the IFEG guys. He's a goofball.
That's good.
But
We're all a little goofy. You know what I'm saying? Some of
yeah.
us just hide it better on Twitter. Who else? Any other people?
Yeah, let me think. Um I'm coming in a blank right now. Let
That's
me
okay.
see.
Somebody else. Do you follow anybody that like has also transitioned from Forex into futures that you've seen them do it well? Because I feel like a couple of them, like Dodgy and those guys, were also Forex traders and then transitioned, like Kyle and them too. Because that's who, at least who I've been following for a while. I think Ryan plays soccer with PW, don't they?
Yeah.
That's so funny, bro. When
Yeah.
Twitter friends become real life friends.
Yeah, that's funny. The only other guy I can think of that I watch that comes from Forex is this guy named Wix9. I'm sure nobody's ever heard of him. He trades gold.
Oh, I know exactly who that is, bro,
I
because
mean, I don't.
through Top One, right? Like he also does Top One trader stuff. I've seen him before. I think he's got dreads, right? And he's in Miami.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I don't trade his strategy, but I do kind of. He's one of those guys who have a huge stop loss and he's going for tiny scalps. But I do like to just kind of watch him. It's just he's fun to watch. I don't really watch people on YouTube for strategies and stuff. I usually just watch it for entertainment, pretty much.
right, right. Because you're at the point now where you're kind of operating. So, what are you looking to like tweak, and what are you doing to get better this year? Like now that you've taken some big payouts, you are close to the big 60K payout. What are you focused on improving for your own trading?
Yeah, the main thing I want to do is not tilt as much. Last year I would tilt a lot, and when you're copy trading, man, that can take a real mental toll when you blow blow up all those accounts in one trade. But yeah, mainly just not have those blow up days. And like I said, if I just follow the rules, I shouldn't have them.
Why do you think it's so easy to say, so hard to do? Especially like you said, when you get off the stream, I find even like myself, like I'm willing to just be more willy-nilly when nobody's looking. You know what I'm saying? I wonder
Yeah,
why that is. I guess it's because you really need that accountability, from like the outside of like, hey, I got to go tell my girlfriend these are the trades I took, or I got to tell my coach these are the trades I took. So then you maybe
yep.
stay on edge, or I got to on stream, you got to see the trades I take. But when I'm in my room by myself, you don't know what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think also like I feel like me and you are competitive guys, so we don't like to lose. So
No.
that's so that could
You want to hear
also
what
be
happened
it too.
yesterday, bro? I'll tell you a
What
story.
happened?
We had the seminar, so then I got like 10 of the guys, 12 of the guys together, and we played golf. Do you play golf?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you a good golfer?
No, terrible.
Okay, same.
Trying to get
So
better.
same. So we go out there, and my business partner, Evan, is younger than me. He's your age, and he is really, really good at golf. So I put him and one other good golfer, another gold trader, his name is Nick, against three of us, me and Clay, the founder of Top One, and then my buddy Randy. So it's 3-on-2. I gave them more mulligans, but I didn't give them any strokes. And we were just playing, regular scramble match play, right? Not stroke play. We were down 3 with 5 to go. And I stopped talking because I was like, my teammates are sucking. I'm like, everyone stop talking. I want to beat Evan. Well, we came back and we won the next 3 holes. So we get to the last hole. We're 1 down. And I said to them, I was like, if you double or nothing, beat us on this hole, we'll give you double. It was a $200 bet. So pay $400. We beat you or tie the hole, we pay you nothing. And I was so focused, bro, to your point of me not liking to lose. I was like, I don't want to lose. We get to the end of the hole. All the rest of the guys that all finished before come out. So they come out of the clubhouse and they're standing around the green watching me make this putt. It's like a 4-foot putt. Now I understand why golf, when it's professional, is so hard because I missed the putt right in front of everybody. Of course, I missed the putt. So, but like the competitive nature in me, I was so angry, bro. Especially as the guys on my team started to suck. I was like, oh my God, bro, they're killing me.
You just wanted
So
to
I
sling that putter, didn't you?
boom right over the leg, bro. Yeah, absolutely. But
Wait, you did do that?
no, no,
You
no. That would have been so embarrassing because, dude, no. Now everybody's watching, so now I got to play it off and be cool. I got to be cool. I got to be like, no, I don't care that much. It's fine. And in my head, I'm steaming. I'm like, how do I
yeah.
let Evan beat me? This guy's younger than me, but it is. I like I like beating people in things that I think they're better than me. I don't like beating people that are as good as me or like worse than me. Like I'm not picking on anybody, you know what I mean? But I like beating people when they're better than me. That's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think leads to like a good trader? Now that you pointed that out as like a winning characteristic, like you see like, okay, Austin likes to win, you like to win. What other characteristics do you think lead to successful trading? Now that you've taken payouts, people are going to listen to this and be like, what do I need to work on in myself to become like the guys that are getting payouts? What would you say to that?
Yeah, I think you need to be disciplined. You don't see any. I don't want to say it, but like soft traders, I feel like you don't see any guys that are out here crying and whining. They're usually, if you lose, you're gonna just take it on the lip and come back the next day and put your head down and get back to work. You just need to have that mentality of, oh, I'm not gonna lose. I may lose one day, but I'll be back here tomorrow looking at the charts.
Discipline,
You
determination, resilient, hard to kill. Those are 3 you
yeah.
just gave right there. Yeah, those are
Yep.
good. What else?
Um, I think probably you need to have a willingness to learn. you need to keep expanding your horizons. Don't just, think you found it all in the beginning just because you had a little bit of success. I think you just need to keep trying to learn from others, and you'll be good.
That's great advice. I mean, you even said in your story how you did that, how you came into futures trading and were like, I'm seeing guys do ICT. It's doing well. Let me go learn what that was. Even though you were already doing support and resistance stuff that you probably thought was somewhat good for you. You were doing it, right? With the Forex stuff. So
Yeah.
curiosity, staying open-minded. Yeah, definitely. I feel like the guys that are always like acting like they know it all are always the ones not showing their losses, and then like you said, the guys that really grind it out. Like I've seen you post max red days, boom, 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 apex max red. You got to own it, bro. Like you said, you take it on the lip, but then look, you come back and you put yourself in a big position. I got a question. You actually just reminded me. How do you manage the different prop accounts, bro? Are you copy trading across different firms? How do you choose which account you're trading when? You know what I'm saying?
So that's kind of what I do too. So I'll copy trade across all in one prop. But with Rhythmic right now, I'm copy trading. I only have a few Apex and a few Bull Knox accounts right now. So I'm copy trading those two together just because they're on Rhythmic. And then on a separate trade, I'll take the top one accounts. And then on a separate trade, I'll take the Tradeify. So the three I'm doing right now.
How
So
do
I
you know
won't
when to
right.
stop for the day?
Well, on the top one, I go for about $1,000 on those, and then the Bull Knox and Apex, I go for $200 to $400, and then the Tradeify, it's around 1,500. I try to go
And
for.
then either go hit the profit target, hit the max loss, then go to the next group of accounts, basically.
Yep.
Interesting.
Well,
Okay. That's
sometimes I won't even hit the profit target. If I'm at like 900, sometimes I may just end the day there too.
You want to
Like
hear what I did today? I was up 500 on the Tradeify accounts. I go to the top one accounts. I take the second trade, accidentally 5 minis. I wanted 5 micros, closed it instantly, down $1,200. I did recover. I'm down 86 bucks right now, but that was a kick in the balls. So I ask you that because I know a lot of people do what I just did. You're trading one account and you're on the micros and you're fine. And then you think you're still on the micros. You go to the other platform, boom, you're on the minis and you're like, what the hell?
yeah, that's not fun.
Not fun. So like you said, it's not just discipline, but it's even like focus is something I feel like people really struggle with, like staying focused on what accounts. But it's good, like you have hard profit target, hard max loss, and then you go off onto the next group. Do you specifically trade one company first? Like every morning, do you trade top one first, or every morning you trade Tradeify first? Do you ever think of it like that, or no? Just whatever.
Yeah, so in the mornings I'll trade the Rhythmic accounts first, just because when I'm at work, I can't really. It's harder. I do have a computer, but I'm not always on it all the time.
Right.
So I can trade the top one accounts from my phone if I have to, and the
Right.
same with the Tradeify accounts.
Okay. Really good input. Any other advice you would give to the guys that are getting into copy trading for the first time?
Yeah, just think about it like it's one account. Just think about it like it's one account, and don't think you're making all that profit. Just if you're trying to make $200, just think about it like it's one account. Easiest way to do it.
Do
That's
you
the
think it's
point of
easy?
copy trading.
100%. Do you think it's easier now, like seeing at you at your win rate? Do you think it's easier to get payouts at a high win rate or a high R multiple?
Well, I will with firms like Apex, where the trailing drawdown is, I'd say it's probably easier with the high win rate for sure because that trailing drawdown. So if you're just scalping a lot and getting those wins and just stacking those wins and losing a little bit, it's hard to get that trailing drawdown to hit.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't think that's what you were going to say. So because of their rules, it's like Apex favors scalping more than anything
Yep.
else. But some of these other firms that don't have that intra-trade, intraday kind of trailing drawdown, you could go for maybe a higher R multiple and see more success, you're thinking, because you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, because also like I mean, if you're in a trade and you're going for a big win and on Apex and it goes up close to your take profit and then comes all the way back, I mean, you probably have a stop at break even, but even at that point, you just wasted all that profit. You just wasted all that drawdown. So if you're just going for those scalps on Apex, your trailing stays maxed out,
100%. Are you when you look at those scalps, are you usually trailing quickly and leaving like half the trade on, or are you full in, full out? Like, what's your opinion on stop loss management?
I trade pretty weird. I'm not gonna lie. So I try to get in, and as soon as it starts going in profit a little bit, I move my stop to break even almost. Like because when I want the trade to go like 10 points, I just want it to just go. And if it's not gonna go, I'll just take a break even and then look for another spot where I can get those quick 10 points. Because
How many
I
times
try
do
to
you usually jab at it?
I'll keep jabbing until I get 10 points or get stopped out.
I like
Well,
that answer, buddy. Good
yeah.
answer.
Yeah. Yeah, but on the same trade, you're talking about the same trade though?
Yeah, like the same idea.
Yeah, so I'll keep jabbing at it if it's just chopping around, but if it goes to my target, and I'm not in it, I'll just look for another trade.
Love it. Do you ever trade power hour? Like, are you ever trying to trade on the end of the day, or like, because you're by that point, bro, I feel like you're probably fried between work and London session and everything. You're gonna tell me no. I can see it on your face.
I don't really trade power hour.
I was gonna say no, because you're East Coast time, right?
Yeah, Eastern.
Yeah, so you end the day the same time as me. So by 3-4 o'clock, bro, especially being up trading the London session. So what time you going to bed, dude, to wake up and trade London session? 8 o'clock?
It's sometimes it's late. You know, I got a girlfriend. She wants to.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say,
out.
bro. They don't understand that at that point. So what do you mean I'm going to bed? You're going to bed for London session at 7 p.m. on a Thursday.
Yeah, she wants to hang out. So sometimes I'm up and then I get a few hours of sleep and I'm back up.
Yeah, I feel you, bro.
I get my rest on the weekends.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, dude, you're 5 years younger than me, bro. You're fine. You got plenty of time. I was up till 4 a.m. on Friday night and 2 a.m. on Saturday, and I'm all right. I slept in like a rock though this morning, bro. I slept until 8 o'clock. I never sleep till 8 o'clock.
Oh yeah,
but dude, this has been great, Slade. I think first podcast covered a lot. Covered a little bit of your story. Covered a lot about the way that you talk about prop trading, copy trading. I got a bunch of good notes here. Anything else that you could tell us you're working on for the rest of the year? I know you mentioned the streams, the little YouTube thing that's growing very quickly for you, the Twitter thing that's growing very quickly for you. What else you got cooking up for us this year, other than more payouts?
Yeah, well, I want to get maxed out on all the prop firms. That's the main goal. Like I'm not maxed out yet, but I want to get maxed out on all props. That'd be sick. And then what if you get maxed out and getting payouts on all of them? That's crazy.
100%.
But yeah, doing the YouTube thing. I got a Discord, Twitter. It's pretty much it.
Discord's free.
Simple though. Yeah, free.
Cool. We'll link that below. We'll link the YouTube below so everybody can come find you. Last question. So since you're a shitty golfer, maybe you'll be my partner. I want to try to get a bunch of US-based traders, and we can invite international people, but I don't know if they'll fly in for this. But I think we should do a golf event, and we should pair people up and have a big golf outing between a bunch of traders because the guys loved it, dude. So if I do it, I'm going to come to you and you help me make it happen. All right.
Let's do it. Hey, but I don't think if me and you are both shitty golfers that we should be partnered.
We're just going to go to drink, bro. We're just going to have fun. We'll give them our money. We'll lose. We're just going to party, bro. We'll just shotgun beers and have fun. Yeah.
That's it.
But dude, it's great to meet you. I really appreciate you doing this. I hope that we do get a lot of attention on this because for the first podcast, like I said, I think we covered a lot, man, a lot. And I'm really excited to watch you grow, build your YouTube channel, take more payouts, run it up. I'd love to see you get max funded, like you said, and even some live accounts, bro. So I wish you the best of luck, dude. And hopefully we'll stay connected. We'll still rock out, maybe do a part 2 in person or something like that one day. Maybe you come down to Tampa, we'll make something happen, or I might be in New York soon. So we'll see. Maybe we'll do something like that. But yeah, listeners, thank you for staying all the way through. I'm going to put Slade's links down below so you guys can connect with him. But for now, I think we'll put a pin in it. Slade, you're the man, buddy. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me on, man. It's fun.
Dude, absolutely. Listeners, we'll see you in the next episode. Make sure you're subscribed, and thank you as always.